Okay, I quite like doing the little video diary thing where I just patch together a few short videos. So I think I'll do it for this day. Today, I'm printing parts for the um, knee drive. That's a test piece, so let's just disable all this junk. We need the gears, the knee plates. Cool. That's the interface. The motor, which will sit right there. Shaft lock for the interface for the first gear. That's an empty body, I think. No, that's doing something. We'll leave that for now. We've got the shafts to keep the gears aligned. We've got the motor casing, which is mahoosive as well. It needs to be printer friendly. I'm not happy with it, but one day this will be made out of something that's not PLA. And then a little interface for the shaft to rotate nicely, and then the rest of that's just test pieces. So let's turn on the hip, which will sit right there, and let's turn on the leg plates so we can see it in its glory. As we can see, so it's going to be quite large. It's still really wide, and that's just because there's the pure size of the gearbox here. It's so long. So when we get a custom gearbox made, all of this, like transmission here, can be pushed inside of the leg. But for now, this is fine. And I mean, the profile, it's really not that bad. I thought I was going to have to use a lot more gears to achieve this. These are herringbone gears, so it should be pretty good for lack of backlash. I have had an idea for a new gear. So the idea is printed middle. So the actual gear itself is, which one of these is it? I've lost it. It's this. So this would be printed, and then these top and bottom plates would be plasma cut metal. So we get the strength of the metal and the surface area of the herringbone. But that's just an idea on paper for now. Don't know how well that will work. We're not going to use it for now, so that's fine. But yes, I made these thick because of what we learned from up here, but I haven't replaced the thickness of these yet. These are still thin, so if anything's going to break, it's probably going to be these plates. Yeah, and when I know this whole assembly works, I can literally copy and paste all of this for here, because it's the exact same distance. Like from the drive to the knee, it's the same from this drive to the ankle. So it will transmit down to here. And then this one here will be direct drive anyway. So that sorts out all of these axes. And then we just need to build the two axes that will go up here, which I think, yep, still have it here. Of course, it's not modified. This is for the old design, but we have this axis, and then there'd be a motor between these 2 points that would achieve this rotation, and then a motor facing down for an extra axis. So that's the CAD pretty much done for that, and I have printed a little test thing. This is only a part of the casing. No way I was going to print the whole thing and have it not work. 2 gears, and then of course it's a little hard to rotate these with one hand, but they work pretty good. They bind up in some areas, but that's because they just need to be worn in, I think. Here we go. That's better. And then there'd be an extra gear down here. The old system uses linkages, which we can see with this piece. It would fit in here, but this just wasn't working. I have high confidence for this one. I'll be quite upset if it doesn't work, but it's a learning process. So what can you do? I've already disassembled the knee. This part's being kept, but everything here is going to be the new plates. And then I need to remove this. Oh, what a mess. This is where the old linkage system went in. So this whole area here is being replaced with the new drive casing. The motors aren't going to be here for some time. They only just shipped. So I'll probably just hammer out this one and just move it to the next casing. it just means I won't be able to simultaneously test the motors, which is upsetting. But when they arrive, it's just a drop-in and it'll be fine. I am going to start using actual wiring because jumper leads like these are kind of shit. So I'll make a rudimentary cable harness and we'll see how that goes. Okay, in that last clip I lied a little bit. It's probably not getting done today. It's pretty dark out. Still printing parts. I've printed all the gears, the knee interface plates, and a test part. 2 test parts actually. I printed this to make sure the spacing was right, which I think I showed in the previous part. And then I've made another one that has the parts I can mount to. This is what's printing right now. Which is just the full version of this part. And that's going to take 13 hours, which is ages. So this is going to be a print I'll see in the morning. That is the biggest part, because after that it's mainly just interface and then 2 shafts to make sure everything's rigid. This shaft is not rigid. I made it really loose just so I can throw it on. But how am I going to record this with one hand? This is tricky. I can do it like this. It does work quite well. There is a little bit of slack in the system, but look, it's all coming from that shaft. So once that's dealt with, this should be pretty rigid. I might also put a plate on top of this, just to keep them flat. But the thing about these gears, because they're herringbone gears, they kind of hold themselves in, so I probably won't need to do that. But it's very satisfying to move. So I'm very, very pleased with that. I'm thinking when it comes to testing, this is probably going to shear right off. That is why I'm putting a shaft down the middle, but I can't see that lasting too long. So we'll see. And then I've just got to do it to this one as well. I've just got to put the same assembly here and then the gear train down to here. And yeah, that should be that done, which leaves me with the 2 more joints that go over here and then the direct drive down there. I'm thinking I'll probably use these 2 sizes for this motor that will sit here, and then the one over here I'm going to have to figure something out for, because I don't think that will be as simple as normal direct drive. That's going to need some sort of system for it. But yeah, no, it works, which is great. Alright, so I've made some mistakes. I ordered 4 kilograms of ABS and not PLA, and my room's not really equipped for all this kind of printing. I've got the settings dialed in for this, but I've had quite a few fails. So I'm going to trade that in for some PLA at some point. I've got all of that. I do have yellow PLA, but I want to try and keep it to white and black. So yeah. Now, I've done some more printing. The casing for the motor is printed. It's quite a big part. And I've printed little channels for the axle to go through, and that's on both sides. This one's not the full length. So yeah, those are just the 2 shafts that go through this assembly and this assembly. There's a temporary test shaft in here. And with that installed, the give has gone down quite a bit. There's still a little bit here, and that's because of this star gear. But I predict that'll be gone when the new motors are installed. But yeah, it's almost knocked it over there. It's pretty good. So when the shafts are done, I'll reattach this like so, and we can see how it looks. It'll be quite nice, I think. When I get the PLA traded in, I'll print the next. All of this assembly, except from these 2 parts, are the same for this joint. So I just need to adapt this for this kind of mounting. But yeah, that'll be 2 more joints done, and then I just need to do this direct drive. No, this is where the output would be. And I'll probably just redo the whole foot, honestly. I mean, this is pretty crap. Okay, I'll have to be quick because we're pushing 2:30. I actually got a noise complaint. I'm not sure if it's from my rain sounds, my printer, or working on this, because I have been hitting stuff in. I'm very pleased with the result. There's still this, but that's because I haven't replaced this yet. Once the motor's in, this should be done. But look, that's rigid. It's attached here now. Shaft here. There's a shaft in here as well. See the ends. The prints came out a bit shitty. This is with POA I had left over, so I'm not sure if it's just like wet or anything. It's just not great. I'm gonna trade in the ABS because Jesus Christ, that stuff printed terribly. But yeah, it's good. I wonder how we can demonstrate the movement. There we are. I'm quite pleased with that, so I reckon once there's a motor inside of it, that should work quite nicely. And if it does work quite nicely, all of this will be repeated for here and for this joint. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. I'll probably trim these clips and whatnot in the morning. A bit late for it right now. Hopefully I'll have a video up soonish. Okay, I just recorded a whole, 3-4 minute clip using Windows camera recorder, but of course it didn't catch any audio, as is part of our Microsoft product, completely sucking. So I'll do it again with OBS. Basically, it works. I'm happy with it. The slack's pretty much gone. I just need to replace this. I'm not going to remove the motor and put it back in here. I'm going to wait until the others I've ordered show up because I think they're at the airport, so it's just a matter of time. So the next few clips, shorts, whatever, will be probably testing this. I will do some proper wiring. I'll probably make a temporary mount for the Arduino. I doubt it will have good simultaneous driving though, so I might dig up an ESP. We'll see what that does. But yeah, the shafts came out a little ugly. But if this all works, I'll go and bulk print all of this again for here, and we'll go from there. I'll probably lock this bottom joint, and we can do a 2-dimensional test. So having it go up and down, maybe I'll make a simple kinematic model, hook it up to Unity, and see how responsive it is. Yeah, that's all I can really say at the moment. We can't do anything else until we get the other components. So yeah, I'm gonna go trade in that ABS today. It just wasn't having it. I've printed it before. Maybe the spools are bad. Maybe my nozzle's got some crap in it. Because I did have some issues with these shafts, but we'll just have to see when I put a fresh spool in. But yeah, hopefully the next clip will be this moving by itself. I mean, it looks good. I'm quite happy with the motion. Oh yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. These are closed loop stepper servos, but unlike a normal servo, I mean, normally I have them on my desk, so I don't. They start and they know where 0 is. I think they use like a potentiometer in them. These don't, so I need to tell them where 0 is on start. So it's going to need end stops just for the initialization, and I'm thinking having the robot squat down and then that'll set everything to 0, which is also going to be probably how it's going to be transported. That's its smallest it can get. Like it can compress itself down. So yeah, I have not added the end stops to any of the CADs, so I'll probably just weld them on. I'll make little printed parts and just kind of solder weld. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, for now I can just manually set 0. I can probably I can put a command in and just like move it where I want it, enter a button, oh, it's 0. So, yeah. Alright. Well, hopefully, again, soon, hopefully this is going to be moving